Well, it's a cold but not particularly windy Friday afternoon. So, being back to Lusty Blundell, so we have a couple of VE direct cables and bought a smart battery sense, so will allow me to monitor the voltage of the generator start battery without getting to it. So it's sitting there underneath the nav station and should be well charged now. Well, it would be if I had the outlet still on. That's the 230 volt breakers, these two here. Oh, those are bilge pumps. Right, well, having checked that, we'll turn it off. We'll turn off shore power and we will have a look at installing the smart shunt. So there it is. It's either going to be easy if the bolt spacing is the same as what's currently there, or it's going to be difficult. So we'll have a look. Here's the new multiplus, the new solar controller, DC to DC converter, which is, I think, supposed to be charging the generator start battery, and positive bus bar, negative bus bar, and the current shunt is here. So we will take out the fuses, it'll isolate the system, and then see if we can swap it over easily. Right, so these are 400 amp class T fuses, negative, positive fuse separately. We'll turn off the inverter charger. Right, it's off. I turned it off using the Bluetooth communication, but also push the switch to the center position. Right, fuses are out. That's the dongle to talk to the multiplus. That needs to be tidied up, but negative fuse out, positive fuse out. Now let's see if we can get to the shunt. Well, there she is, 500 amp shunt, 15 milliamp drop across, and the blue and red wires are the feed through to the very unreliable and variable Blue Sea volt amp meter. We can see that the spacing is slightly different, but I think the bus bars will accommodate that. It needs to be connected the right way around. Load minus, battery minus, so that's the right way for us. Well, it doesn't look pretty, but it'll do at the moment, so probably going to have to get a longer link and then move this bus bar down a bit, but they can wait. Not the prettiest. I had to modify this link to clear the class T fuse. So we have a blue flashy light, which means it's transmitting Bluetooth, but it's not yet paired to the phone. So let's go do that. T-class fuses are back in, and inverter is still off. Shore power's off. I had to turn it on with the app because I turned it off with the app. A big catch coming up. It's quite a nice evening out here. It's Saturday morning, it's cold, rain's just started. It's supposed to get quite heavy and very windy for the rest of the day with the wind warning, so Once again, not a bad period of time to be on the dock doing inside maintenance upgrade things. It's not very nice day. Now I've got the aircon on heat, just the background noise, so cover. And first plan of action today is this, so I've got to put that on the generator start battery so I can monitor its voltage without crawling under the navigation desk. So it lives under there, and it was flat the other day, so we need to decide why. It's been charged up with the 12 volt battery charger. Well, there it is. It's not very big. It has a fuse, and you just connect it across the negative and positive terminals on the battery, and it communicates by Bluetooth. Well, the rain has really set in, so I'm not trying to get onto the boat at the moment. It's darker than it looks. It's in place. Blue light's flashing. Means Bluetooth's going, but it isn't connected. Let's connect it. Well, that was one of those rare jobs. It didn't take any longer than I thought. We're in the starboard hull looking aft. A bit noisy with the aircon going, but I need to get up into the electronics bay, which is up here. So up there is where the control panel for the old inverter charger is, so I need to remove the cable and place a new cable or cables. Right, so here's the hole from the other side. Right, lunchtime. Cheese and bacon toasties. I'll need to connect via HDMI to the Cerbo GX. So I've got a 5 meter HDMI cable, longest I could find. Also needs 5 volts USB, so rather than running a long USB cable, I'm going to probably tap into put my folding steps. I call this electronics bay. That's all the instruments up the top. There's not much room in here. This is the back of the switch panel. This is all the AC. 12 volts is over there. There's the steering. This thing down here is the autopilot chain drive. Over here, can't really see what I'm doing. It's behind my head, but autopilot control over there. So first order of business is to free up the control cable for the old inverter charger controller, which is this white one coming in through the hole. I've stuck the end of the HDMI cable in here. I've been releasing cable ties. They certainly weren't stingy in the amount of excess cable that was provided. Well threaded out. I've managed to unthread it down to here, so now we have to find it in behind this wall. Right, I was up there. This is the back of the fridge, so it'll be in that corner somewhere. And then down here is the big connection panel and access right across the boat, so it'll come down here somewhere. Well, that's looking across to the electrical bay on the other side where the inverter charger is. That loop there is the cable we're after. Oh, I've got no way of freeing that up because it then goes into one of the conduits, and as you can see, it's a pretty tight run. So there's the pulleys for the steering. It then disappears into all this lot here and then goes up there, so I think we'll just have to cut it the other end. Well, I've tried to send the snake through, but yeah, too much stuff in there, it'll get jammed. Of course the cable is armoured, so I'm sure we can run it across the surface, and even if it does short out, it's not going to stop anything important from functioning as far as boat safety goes, and it's not carrying a significant voltage. Oh, this is just twisting too much. Oh, I've got another one at home that should be a bit easier. Oh, I found 12 volt bus bars up there, so yeah, not much, very little room with everything else, but we should put the USB in there. Well, that job certainly took longer than I was expecting. So, where is it? There we are, that blue thing up there. There's the USB power supply. Oh, there's the cable ties that have sacrificed themselves to the cause so far. Well, that took a large part of the afternoon. That cramped access way. This boat must have been built by midgets. So the wind's gone to the east now, maybe northeast.
So they can boot it out happily, and it'll be Finley Christie to throw it back to Geordie Barrett, who hits the corner post. And I think they'll agree, Goldie, but they got there.
Oh, here comes one of the B Division boats coming back up RT Rubber. Oh, there's another one down there, so it was very calm in a period of rain. Now the southerly's coming. Oh, I've had lunch with my cousin and her family, so I bought this yellow snake or fish from home. Let's see if we can get that through. Well, the idea is to get it across to the far side. Oh, it's obviously made it through. Let's see if we can get that through. Well, we seem to be winning. Success. Oh, there we go. I haven't quite decided where the Cerbo GX is going to go, but I think possibly here for convenience. Maybe up the top to keep it away from the power. Anywhere further in is going to be really hard to get to. So that's how much extra we've got to play with, so probably means I can get it up into here anyway. And then from there, it needs to go up to that bit of rectangular light up there. Right, so it's running from there and going down around there, well away from the pulleys. here and then running up. Now we've got as far as here, so a few more cable ties to get from there up to the opening up there is a 1.3 to 1.5 metre additional HDMI cable, so we might as well go get that. Well, third trip to JK. So I've got a USB-A to USB-A for the power, a shorter HDMI cable, some longer cable ties. So we'll carry on. Right, joined, and now need to get that up in place. So back up into the cramped hole. Oh, it's too cramped to film one up there, but cable ties back on. There's the HDMI cable running up, and I lift this up because I can't get it out of my pocket up there. So there's the USB power and USB cable and HDMI just going through the hole. So hopefully I can now close things up here because I'm sick of working up in here. Oh, I'll tempt fate and close things up. And ceiling panel back in. So here's the cables, USB, HDMI, so there are little cables off the back of the display and these should not disappear. So I've got them well attached close by, and that's roughly the size of the 5-inch display or the 50 or GX 50 touch, which I think will be fine. Could fit a 7-inch in, but I don't think we need it that big. Oh, there's the 7-inch one. So we'd have to shift the microphone across because it's for the VHF. Oh, I don't think it's necessary to go that big. It's 5 o'clock, so time to go home. Certainly hasn't been a windy day, and there was a bit of sunshine for a while. Tide's going out now. Water's pretty brown because it did rain a heck of a lot last night. So back to Lusty and Blundell tomorrow morning. Spend more money. Well, let's see if we can get it installed and running. Right, we have a Cerbo GX, so it's the brains of the whole Victron system, and we have a Touch 70 which I discussed with the Admiral, showed her pictures, and she thought that looked good. There's the mock-up. We'll have to shift the microphone holder, but that won't be difficult. And I have a USB connector from JK, so that'll allow us to plug it in. And there's the panel mount, so certainly well fit. Right, well, here's the back side of it. So it's HDMI and USB, that's just power. So I probably could have gone one cable less in the back, but then it would be pretty hard to get it out without climbing in the back yet again. Right, well, here's the Cerbo, and it's bag of extras, so we'll go and wire it in. Oh, it'll easily fit here. I won't screw it in just yet though. Oh, I've made temporary power connection. Still need to sort out all the minor wires on here, make it tidier, and sort out that link. Right, we have power. Let's see if we can talk to it over Bluetooth. Right, I've plugged it into the HDMI and the USB power, so it's not connected to anything at the moment. The display is working, plug the Ethernet cable from the charger inverter in to there, and it appears on here. Same lights as there. I'll plug a VE direct cable in from the smart shunt to it as well. Right, well, the black one's the VE direct. Oh, I'm talking about, yeah, the VE direct from the smart shunt. Going to the display, we have a bit more information on the battery. Well, next thing is to connect it to the HDMI cable here, and HDMI and USB power at the panel. Right, success. So we'll put the mount it properly before we go and have a tutu with it. The big katana's on its way somewhere. Not mucking around. Wall's over there. Well, I've got the mount screwed in, and I pushed it right across as far as I could, so the microphone doesn't need to be shifted. Oh, there we go, snapped into place. And we can have a good play with it. I'll connect it to the StarLink though. Have an explorer of the pages. Okay, connected to our StarLink. Checking for updates. It always is updates. I think we'll find it will change all the display to the current, what they consider best. I've been busy playing with the remote to access the remote setup off the laptop. Well, damn cold southerly blowing, and the lagoon cap by shore is gone. I'm back in the port aft cabin, got the aircon on, so I'll just put a VE direct cable, which I neglected to do, between the MPPT charger and the Cerbo. Have a cuppa, and then we'll look at mounting things and tidying up some wiring. I had to remove the jumper and it was quite hard to get the plug in, so I just unscrewed the box. Changed the user interface on the computer remotely, but anyway, we're now seeing amps. So solar is putting in 5 amps. Of course, this is low sun and winter. It's pretty pathetic solar though. Well, as you can see, she's a wee bit rough out there. Near low tide. I've put the Nespresso on, so we've got an AC load, not much, and a bit of charging going on. So aircon and water heaters don't go through the inverter, so they're not counted on this. Oh, I've made another change to the display. Oh, I quite like that. I think we'll just run off the inverter for a while, so we need to turn off the aircon. shore off. So transfer, we've got two incoming plugs from the shore power. We only use one, so it transfers between port and starboard, the shore power. Right, so grid's not connected. I've put some load on the jug, empty toaster. So shore power's not connected. Solar's putting out 7 amps now into the battery. Battery's going to the inverter. Inverter's going to the AC loads. So there's 371 amps coming out of the battery. Being AGMs, it sucked the voltage down to 10.6. Lithiums don't drop so much when they're on that draw. So inverter's working hard. Battery voltage is low. But the load's come off now. The inverter's dropping its fan. It's now happy, so I presume the jug and the toaster have both popped. Or done their job. Back up to 12.7 across the bus bars. Okay, well let's tidy up some wiring. Mount the servo, and sort out this bus bar. Might do that first. Well, sometimes it just takes a wee bit of thinking about things, so I thought I was going to have to move this bottom one. No, the easy thing is to move the top one. So it's not looking near as amateur as it was before, with things being roughly in right angles. Mounted here, and let's decide what we're going to do with cables. Look at the signal ones first. Well, it's not the most beautiful cable management in the world, but it's better than what the factory managed behind the switchboard. So we have the Cerbo GX there, the solar MPPT charger, the DC to DC converter. Still need to check out why the start battery is not charging. We've straightened out the shunt. Cables are looking tidier. Down there I've taken off the smart dongle because it's not needed. And there's a couple of spare 400 amp T-class fuses. Of course, over here we have our RCD overcurrent disconnect between the inverter and the house sockets. And that's wiring for the interior lights and the LED controller. And of course up here is our Victron Multiplus. The red and blue are off the old shunt. This is still the same 500 volt shunt at 5 milliamps, but I've got no way of connecting it at the moment. One day I might drill some holes and tap some screws. Shore power still off. Battery's still looking pretty good. Now the voltage sag has disappeared. I'll put the jug back on again. So 221 amps at 12 volts, making what, 9.4 AC 230. So we're getting 8 amps out of the solar at the moment. Remember, it's low sun and they're not very good panels. So let's turn shore power back on. And that should produce a change up here. I just heard the relay go in the Multiplus, so we're now charging at what, 84 amps. Oh, here comes one of the fast ferries. The not so rough out there because the tide's coming in now. That'll be going to the big slipway. I may have found the problem. So the red one's the start battery disconnect, this generator, and the other one is the charger. So I think it maybe got knocked down by putting the folders in the cupboard here underneath the nav station.